you can just release token to the public to own the project and govern the project. You don't need to have a highest portion of the project, but still, when the pie of the project gets bigger, and then your smaller percentage, which is in here 25%, you will much bigger than the small project, which is you own 75% of the project. So this is quite a new idea that, and from the picture from the screen on the left, we see that a lot of projects use this kind of mechanism. And then one of the good example also in the finance, yeah, we see that decentralized finance, which we use this technology to create peer-to-peer transaction, like investment, saving, loan, insurance, aggregate of money maker, and etc., without need the central bank, central authority. How this is possible? Because we replace this central authority with a program called the smart contract, which we guarantee. Yeah.
Andry,
okay.
You only have 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
Okay. Okay. So this is the first example. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Okay. Thank you, Bu Happy. And the second one is also the private sector. Seeing that this digital economy flourishes with the crypto asset, they create their own money, which is called, we call it stable coin, the coin that is not volatile. Bitcoin, for example, is so volatile, sometimes go very up, very high, and sometimes very low. And this is they call they release stable coin. Another opponent, the public sector, central bank, which is surely get what is called in the pressure to adopt this kind of economy. So they create a CBDC, central bank digital currency, which in Indonesia I believe will be released at the end of this year. This is a good example and how public and private sector go together to support the continuation of digital space. Next, and then the next is also some phenomena we call metaverse, which a space where we can socialize, work, transact, play, and create. Yeah, in Indonesia we have a lot of content creator. Metaverse actually is continuation of today's social media, where people can have immersive experience. But the most important is that one of them also is a blockchain, or a protocol to support the digital asset transaction. Yeah, here we can say there are many words, but one of them, many people interaction mean that more economic opportunity happen on that space. Here, in short, we have we cannot escape. Yeah, we will have a next evolution of internet, which in here represented by metaverse. We have also institutional technology, is blockchain, give reward and punishment and a token to people who build the world inside metaverse. And also we some young generation see that metaverse is the representation of ideal society value, because in the real world they don't have a voice on the war, on a global warming. Yeah, so they say that in the space of metaverse is a fair, a trustless, a reputation cannot be changed. Yeah, and then equality. Yeah, okay. And then this is a short example, but I won't discuss further because it's another usage of a blockchain for business process. Here you can see that supply chain. We see on each step of the supply chain, we can guarantee that the product coming from which country and the process, like what kind of processing they have. and many things. So maybe another occasion I will explain this one further. That if you have the slide, you have the information below this one and the name of the company. And for the conclusion, we have a massive and complex problem. So we need global and systematic collaboration from the crowd. So one way to coordinate the crowd is we use the technology. If not, it will be chaos. We don't know which are real crowd, which one is not the real one. So the second one is the authority alone could not solve the big problem. So the top-down solution it has been going on for years or decades, but here we try to use the bottom up. Yeah, we use the technology, especially human culture. It's very hard to change. Yeah, so we could employ some technology with distributed, trusted, transparent technology. We call it blockchain. We can use AI for automated, and also we can utilize big data to achieve better society, smart, trusted, privacy-oriented, collective intelligence. This is very important, collective intelligence. And then decentralized approach, trigger equality, inclusivity, entrepreneurship, because people now, for the first time, have chance to have another alternative or to fight back, what happens in the current practice with the big company. Yeah. And then unlimited innovation, because we haven't explored many possibility in this space, so we need to explore it. Because today we are only dominated by economy, as I mentioned before. And the last point is that what is the challenge? The challenge is regulation. In Indonesia, we have a very rigid regulation about this. So some country have a flexibility, and also leadership. Why I mention leadership? Because we need to identify whether it is government, with this public or a private company, or maybe the public who lead this evolution. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the time.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
No worries. Thank you very much, Pak Andry, for the very insightful presentation. So let me recap some of the key points from your presentation, Pak Andry. The first one, which concerns me the most actually, is that you said that right now we are facing the largest cost of living, right? And then from your slide, it said that right now we are experiencing nearly 3 times pre-pandemic average in terms of cost of living. So wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
Okay, and then the next one is in line with the previous speaker's presentation. You also said that right now it can be concluded that we are now in a technology-driven society in which ABCD is needed. ABCD is from AI, blockchain, cloud, and big data. And then blockchain is becoming more prominent in this type of society, especially the decentralized society, right? And then blockchain makes it possible to control our own data. And then at the end of your presentation, you also explain about the metaverse, which is a platform that can support the blockchain technology, right, Pak Andry? So yeah,
yes,
that was a very insightful for me, and I'm sure for all of the audience here as well. Okay. Right now we are we can enter the Q&A session. So let's start discussing the questions from the chat box. Okay, so can the host share the question, please? Okay, so as you can all see on the slide, there is a question from Ibu Indrawati from Telkom University, and the question is for Professor Hussain. The question is why increase of nationalism become one of the limitation based on your presentation, Professor. Bu Indrawati said that she doesn't think that the case of war between Ukraine and Russia is a case of increasing nationalism. So could you please share your opinion about this, Professor?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that question. We're talking, and I'm going to go into the last speaker's presentation, the rising cost of living. That's where the challenge of nationalism comes in, because we're trying to reverse what Adam Smith said, produce what you're good at. And if we go more towards nationalism and say everything we do has to be done by us, it's going to be inefficient. As consumers, we will pay more, because we don't have the economies of scale then.
Yeah.
And I think very briefly, if I can put it this way, it's harming the environment, because that was a point I'd made earlier. All you have to do is look at what Germany's had to do. This whole nationalistic view of saying you're either with us or against us. With the lack of gas supply and things like that, Germany's now reverting back to coal energy, dirty fuel, if you want to call it. So this nationalistic view is going to create problems for a global economy, and also for us as consumers, where we will end up paying a lot more than we would.
Okay, so yeah, it makes sense. So because we cannot produce all of the things that we should use, then yeah, it will create some problem. So what do you think, Bu Indrawati, about the answer? Would you like to, to comment on the answer?
Okay, thank you, Professor Hussain. But yeah, I think it's depend on how we translate the word nationalism. Yeah, so we have different point on the word nationalism. For me, I think nationalism is very important. We Indonesians should increase our nationalism. If not, it is very harmful for our nation, for our state. So probably because we have different point of view on the word nationalism. But anyhow, thank you for the explanation, Professor. Thank you, Bu Happy.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Iin. Thank you, Professor Hussain, for your explanation. And as Bu Iin has said before, of course, everyone can see something from various different positions, right? So it is very normal for us to have different point of view. And yeah, that's why we have this kind of discussion forum, so then we can discuss our point of view. All right, okay, thank you very much for the first question, Ibu Indrawati, Ibu Iin. Okay, let's move on to the second one. Okay, so this one is from Ibu Grisna from Telkom University, and I have been made aware that Bu Grisna is a friend of yours, Professor, correct? So perhaps Bu Grisna, if you want to, you ask your question directly to Professor Hussain, you may do so right now.
No, Bu, please read the question.
Okay, okay, I'll read the question then. Or maybe you want to say hi first to Professor?
Prof. Nice to meet you.
Okay, I'll read the question then. Okay, the question from Bu Grisna is, SMEs face significant challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic compared to established companies. The process of internationalization is certainly something that is very difficult for SMEs, especially since limited mobility hinders the flow of goods distribution between countries. My classic question is, so this is the question, yeah, Professor. In your opinion, what is the process of driving digital transformation in SMEs in developing countries, such as Indonesia, of course? for the process towards a global chain in the internationalization process?
Thank you very much. Good to see you, Krishna. And that's a very good question. The problem is this answer will take me 1 hour, so I'm going to make it very short if I can. Two sides to it. So I think if you look at the global economy and if you look at SMEs in services, it's much easier. And the reason for that being, what we've seen with the pandemic is SMEs now have a more even playing field compared to large firms. So in the past, if you wanted to sell, you needed the right platform for it: television, newspapers, magazines. SMEs can't afford to pay for advertising there. So promotion is now easier because most people are on their tablets, on their phones. So the digital side of it is already helping with the awareness. Now, the next point is the one which you've raised is critical, the internationalization side of it. And for the services, it's the General Agreement on Trade and Services, the GATS. If governments open that up and allow services, which according to the World Trade Organization is in 4 parts: cross-border supply through electronic means, the receiver of the service goes in the territory of the service provider. So in this case, someone like tourists coming into Indonesia. Third is an Indonesian firm creates a presence elsewhere. And the fourth is people going in and out. Out of this, the easiest one for SMEs is the first form, the electronic form. And for that, Indonesia the government has to make agreements with global bodies to allow that. What Indonesian firms can do first is look in the ASEAN region. So the ASEAN has their own services agreement. And I think SMEs can take advantage of that with the internationalization. So this is, if I just revert back to that nationalization point, what I meant was nationalization is not a bad thing. But when governments take the nationalistic view of saying, we're not going to allow foreign firms to come in, it does two things. One is it makes us all within the small economy. And the second problem is there is a lack of knowledge sharing because we don't learn anything new. So I think in this case, what Indonesian firms, SMEs can really take advantage of is to move to the next step, go regional first. And once that's created through an AFAS, which is the ASEAN Agreement for Services, build that with the European Union, for example. So the European Union has their own services agreement. Indonesia and Australia signed a free trade agreement. SMEs should take advantage of that and go with the digitalization cross-border supply. So I think this is where the government side, the whole stakeholder thing, the policy aspect is going to be key for that next step to move outside of Indonesia and look elsewhere.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Bu Krishna, do you have some comment?
No, thank you, Prof. No.
Okay, I think the answer, your explanation was very clear indeed, Professor. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, Bu Krishna, for the question. And then we are moving on to the third question. Okay, so the third question is from Ibu Ratna Lubis from Telkom University. The question is for Dr. Tan and Dr. Andry. The first question for Dr. Tan is, how do we organize all those perspectives that you mentioned on your presentation from the academia, government, etc., since every perspective have their own ego? So I think, Dr. Tan, could you please answer the first one first?
All right, thanks, Ms. Happy. I try my best to address these questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, no doubt, all those perspectives that I mentioned just now have their own ego, but at the end of the day, what is important in a country agenda is very much depending on the main objective set by the government of the country. Likewise, I mentioned about Malaysia, we do have a very comprehensive framework to move the agriculture towards smart farming. All right, and I believe all these policies are related to the different level of the stakeholders. So my point is, at the end of the day, every entity, they need to work hand in hand to not only to meet their own ego, but actually they have to look forward on the bigger pictures of the entire agriculture sector. All right. So I think that I hope that I addressed the questions asked by
Ibu Ratna.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the answer. Dr. Ratna, Ibu Ratna, would you like to comment on the explanation, Ibu?
Thank you, Ibu Happy. I'm sorry, I'm off camera, yeah.
No worries, no worries. Yes, yes.
Miss Cheng Ling Tan, I would like to know your experience, perhaps in previous academic profession, you have an experience how to organize this ego. I would like to know your experience because here, sometimes I get frustrated about this ego. Thank you.
Tips and trick probably, doctor.
All right. I guess that ego is I think every sectors, every entity, they do have their own ego. But at the end of the day, we have to still looking at the main objective, what we want to achieve at the end. If the objective is clear to everyone, I guess that everyone have to work together in order to, to go over that and achieve the objective towards the end of the day.
Okay. So always remind ourselves about the objective, right? The objective is the most important than our own ego.
Correct.
Okay. All right, then thank you very much. And then the second one from Ibu Ratna to Dr. Andry, talking about centralized versus decentralized system, do you think that this pandemic COVID-19 is a sign for the power of individual with the help of digital technology? What do you think, Dr. Andry? What do you think, Pak Andry?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Bu Ratna, for the question. Yeah, I think it's not only about the COVID-19, but we are moving toward the individual power. Yeah. Before this era, we cannot record the reputation, each individual reputation globally. Yeah, you can have your reputation on Twitter, you can have reputation on Instagram, but it's all separated on different systems. So this is kind of difficult for us to trace our own reputation. But this technology, yeah, but I mentioned blockchain and decentralized web. The ultimate is try to have right, yeah, to have record of your reputation, for example, on the society, so you will get more benefit if we can verify that you are a good person, you are a good citizen, or something like that. But it's not only about centralized and decentralized. Some people say that decentralized is important, but the other people, some groups say that the most important for the decentralized web is data ownership, because it's very important right now. So yes, before we go to the public or individual voice, we always use a statement like a crowdsourcing, crowd movement, where the crowd is always chaos. It's not always structured. So we try to structure the complex mechanism using this technology. So I hope, maybe it's too technical, but I hope this makes sense for you, Bu Ratna.
Okay.
Thank you, Pak Andry. Terima kasih, Bu Happy.
You're welcome, Bu Ratna. Well, perhaps, even though the question is for Pak Andry, but perhaps the other speaker would like to, share some opinion about that question. Prof. Hussain, what do you think?
I don't think I can add any more to that. It was a very good explanation.
No worries. What about you, Dr. Tan?
Sorry, may I know the question again?
Okay. Can the host share the question again, please? This one, talking about centralized versus decentralized system, do you think that this COVID-19 is a sign for the power of individual with the help of digital technology?
All right. Talking about decentralizations, I believe that COVID-19 actually has more favorable, in the sense that if you work in the decentralizations, organizations, and also individual will have more flexibility in making decisions and don't have to go through the bureaucracy system. This is what I can see that, the benefits of having the digital technology and all those things that we can make decisions in a very quick manner, all right, without going through all those bureaucracy system. Yeah, that's my view. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for that explanation about for that opinion. Sorry. Okay, now we should move on to the next question. That is from Maya from Open University Indonesia, and the question is for Dr. Tan. Don't you think that media should also take part in smart agriculture research, since it has not included in Queen Helix? Okay, does the media has not been included, Doctor? What do you think?
All right. Yes, of course. Media coverage is important in playing a role in a smart agriculture. Not only that, I think in all the sectors, because the disseminations of the agriculture information, particularly, is very important to the society. And with the media coverage, is a form actually can enhance the knowledge and also the trust towards the digital transformations in one nation. Yeah.
Okay, so the media is indeed very important, but it is still not included in your Queen Helix on your presentation, right?
Yeah. Queen Helix actually is a broad area. I would say that media should part under society, right? It plays the roles in disseminate the information to the smart agriculture. It should be part of the stakeholder.
Okay, so the media is a part of the society that you mentioned on your presentation earlier.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for that confirmation, Doctor. And then, do we still have some question? Another question? Okay, this question comes from Bapak Sunu, Telkom University, and then the question is for Dr. Andry. What do you think about the future of blockchain technology regarding the collapse of some blockchain business or platforms such as Terra Luna, Celsius, or even the game platform Axel is predicted to be impacted by inflation of wave or chain? Okay, so what do you think, Pak Andry?
Yes, thank you, Pak Sunu, for the very thorough question. I think blockchain is a multifold advantage. Yeah, we have a lot of we can use blockchain for many purposes. Yeah, one of them is token economy that I mentioned in the presentation, but the other things is about how we use blockchain to help our business process or our production. Yeah. Or also for our identity, and the other things for also for tracing our philanthropy effort, also for royalty. It's many things. So I think the future of blockchain is there are many things to be explored. Yeah, there are many applications, there are many ideas. Speaking about token economy, yes, sure. Yeah, the blockchain right now is not in token economy is the area which is not really mature yet. There are a lot of contradiction between the regulator, yeah, the central bank, and also the financial institution in the country. Because of that, they want to have control over this the space, yeah. But this is hard to regulate because it's across the border. You see, metaverse, everyone can participate, can make economic activity. So and you see a lot of project is going bankrupt, as you mentioned, Terra Luna, because error in algorithm. So we consider is error in algorithm, so we can build a new one. And the other things, because of the fluctuation of Bitcoin, as you know that when the first war broke out in 24 February between Russia and Ukraine, the Bitcoin's going strong. It's not affected by geopolitical situation, while the other currency is have a trouble. But the blockchain is still going strong. But now we are together facing the financial crisis, so the liquidity. So that's why blockchain also reflect what happens in the real world. And actually, it is not like that. We still influenced by sentiment of the public. Some is still connected to the regulator or something like that. So what I see in the future, we can have a more stable process, or more stable mechanism, or make more stable platform in the blockchain space. I think that is my answer. Thank you, Pak Sunu.
Okay, thank you, Pak Andry. Pak Sunu, what do you think? Do you have some comment about that? Would you like to ask some more?
No, Ms. Happy. Thank you, Pak Andry. Crystal clear.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And I would also like to have some comment. Perhaps Prof. Hussain and Dr. Tan have some comment regarding that question, or maybe you also invest on, on those kind of things. Professor, what do you think?
I've learned more about blockchain today than I have in the past. So all I can say, thank you.
Yes, I've had some seminars from Dr. Andry, and I still do not understand about the concept as well. So what about you, Dr. Tan? Would you like to have some comment regarding that question?
I think it's still very new to me. I need to read more and learn more.
Okay, all right then. The committee has informed me that all of the questions have already been addressed. So thank you very much, Prof. Hussain. Thank you very much, Dr. Tan. Thank you very much, Dr. Andry, for your insightful presentations. So I'm sure that we have learned a lot today. All of the presentations were very interesting, and we've had a very insightful discussion today. Thank you very much for those who have actively participated in this session. Hopefully, you can join in again for the second plenary session this afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Don't forget, for all participants, please fill in the link for your attendance report that is being provided on the chat box. Okay, please check the chat box and then click on the link for your attendance report. Thank you very much for all of the participants, the speakers, and right now I'm going to give the control back to the MC. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Happy Milanyani, PhD, and all of our invited speakers in the panel session. That was a compelling discussion, I would say. Hopefully, all of the knowledge that we have gained from the discussion will be useful in the future. Now, I would like to invite the Dean from Faculty of Economics and Business to give the certificates for all of the invited speakers as a token of appreciation, and also, of course, for our lovely moderator. So please welcome Dr. Ratri Wahyuning Tias.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Puput. Hello, Professor Hussain Rammal. Nice to meet you. This is the first time for me to see you, and also for Dr. Cheng Ling Tan. Yeah, we already discussed in email. Yeah, maybe. Okay. And thank you so much for Dr. Andry Alamsyah and also Ibu Happy Milayani, PhD. And this is our certificate as our appreciation for all contribution all inspiring material, yeah, and I believe that it will give a lot of benefit and insightful for our participants. So thank you so much for Professor Hussain Rammal, and this is your certificate, yeah. We hope that we can see you for the next session or maybe the next agenda, not only talk about the international conference, maybe we can have a lot of collaboration, yeah, in other area. We hope so. Okay, and this is for Dr. Cheng Ling Tan. Thank you so much for your contribution also to join as a speaker and sharing with us, with all participants in this SCBTII 2022. So we hope that we can have a lot of activity together, yeah, between Telkom University and also USM Malaysia. Okay, thank you, Dr. Cheng Ling Tan, and also Dr. Andry Alamsyah. Terima kasih Pak sudah support dan menjadi speaker ya di sini di sesi yang pertama di SCBTII 2022. Sukses selalu untuk Bapak. Dan tentunya buat moderator Ibu Happy Milayani PhD. Thank you so much Ibu Happy Milayani as excellent moderator ya for the first session. Good luck for all of you as a speaker and moderator. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh yeah, and also for all participants. Thank you so much for all participants. Yeah, so see you for the next session until this evening. Thank you so much.
Right, hold your pose. Right. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ratri Wahyuningtyas, for giving such high appreciation for all the speakers, our lovely moderator. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you to fill out the attendance register for plenary session 1, and the link has been provided by the committee in the chat box. Yeah. And the next session will be the parallel session for presenters and participants, which will be started on 1 p.m. in the breakout room. So please do not leave this plenary room. And on the right bottom, you may click the feature breakout room, yeah, as you can see on the screen, and you may choose your designated room. Okay, so these are the steps, yeah. Click the breakout room button, find a room, and click join. It's easy as that, yeah. However, should you have any difficulties, you may contact the committee via WhatsApp group. Please read carefully the guidance and the other informations which are provided by the SCBTII committee. And come join us again in the plenary room at 3:30 p.m. for the plenary session, and we will also announce the top 3 or best papers at the end of the conference. Yeah, I will see you again this afternoon. Bapak Ibu para peserta yang terhormat, dimohon untuk tidak meninggalkan ruang utama karena sesi paralel akan diadakan di breakout room pukul 1 siang waktu Indonesia Barat. Bapak Ibu dapat bergabung dengan cara mengklik fitur breakout room, kemudian Bapak Ibu dapat memilih ruangan yang telah ditentukan dan klik join. Jika ada kesulitan, kami persilahkan untuk menghubungi panitia melalui grup WhatsApp. Ya, Anda bisa lihat di layar. Dimohon untuk bergabung kembali jika sudah selesai pada sesi plenary pada pukul 3.30 sore waktu Indonesia Barat, dan kami akan mengumumkan paper terbaik di akhir acara. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kepalanya katanya ditaruh di pagar ya, jadi ditancapkan gitu. Saya ada itu murid
itu sampai boleh dokter boleh bingung kok bisa motong kepala.
Assalamualaikum, Nak.
Waalaikumsalam, Bu. Namaku Manda. Umurku 19 tahun. Aku lagi bingung cari kampus dan jurusan yang cocok denganku. Valdi, dia teman kampus aku, dan yang ini dia kakak tingkatku waktu di SMA. Namanya Intan. Hari ini aku diajak Intan bermain ke kampusnya. Ikutin perjalananku ya.
Nah, kalau yang tadi itu Ibu Dida, beliau salah satu favoritnya mahasiswa sinilah.
Oh alah, pantesan. Tadi aku sempat speechless pas lagi lihat beliau ngajar.
Oke.
Iya, gimana sih rasanya kuliah di sini?
Ya pastinya seru sih daripada masuk kita.
Deh, apaan sih?
Ada yang mau disuruh lagi?
Apa tuh?
Enggak, belum kasih tahu. Cek tahu aja sendiri.
Apaan sih?
Journal of Indonesian Economy and Business is an open-access, peer-reviewed journal whose objective is to publish original research papers on the Indonesian economy and business issues. This journal is also dedicated to disseminating the published articles freely to international academicians, researchers, practitioners, regulators, and public societies. The journal welcomes authors from any institutional background and accepts rigorous empirical or theoretical research papers with any methods or approach relevant to the Indonesian economy and business content, as long as the research fits one of three salient disciplines: economics, business, or accounting. In Volume 37, Number 2, 2022, Journal of Indonesian Economy and Business issued an article regarding the effect of financial compensation for farmland acquisition on household welfare of the Yogyakarta International Airport development. Land acquisition is a major issue in development policy, and compensation is often described as inadequate. The study found that the financial compensation for the farmland acquired for the new airport development increased a household's total annual income by 32.06%. The financial compensation also increased their total annual expenditures by 26.55%, especially those related to food, energy, transportation, internet, and social relationships.
GIEP initiated its internationalization journey in 1998 when GIEP started to publish full English articles for each issue and volume. Going through every milestone, GIEP has been indexed in various international journal indexation such as Scopus, EBSCOhost, EconLead, ProQuest, Google Scholar, DOAJ, Microsoft Academic Search, and ACI. Furthermore, this journal has been nationally accredited in Indonesia by the Ministry of Research and Technology for Higher Education in the top tier of the Indonesian Science and Technology Index, also known as Sintawan. Last but not least, we hope that GIEP will be the home for the global economy and business scholars to disseminate their rigorous and high-impact research. We look forward to welcoming your contribution in the near future.
Telkom University, a diverse institution. An institution that is continually conducting research and producing innovation for the national development. A campus that has a mission to contribute to the nation. This is Telkom University, the best private university in Indonesia, founded with spirit to contribute to the nation. Our dream to contribute to the nation was started in a 50 hectares campus area laid on Bumi Pasundan, West Java. a place for collaboration and innovation to become a research and entrepreneurial university that actively involves in ICT-based advancement of technology, science, and art. On this campus, students from Indonesia's 34 provinces and international students from countries around the world are enthusiastically participate on research and innovation. Telkom University is also known for its teaching, learning, and research excellence that support Telkom University to produce competent graduates who work globally in more than 30 countries. Moreover, Telkom University also has numerous partnership programs with industries that help students and graduates accelerate their careers. As an excellent ICT-based campus that won SPADA Award, National Award on E-Learning Program, Telkom University continually innovates to adapt to the current challenging situation. With determination to create the solution of the national challenges, Telkom University performs research and learning activities through its 7 schools and more than 40 study programs. It leads to several innovations that support the science development. The innovations were supported by 5 research centers, 31 research groups, and startup incubation by Bandung Technopark. All of the research and innovation achievements have led to the status of Best University on Innovation Management Award, awarded by Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology. Besides research programs, Telkom University also manages several community service programs towards the real contribution to the nation. As a campus with the objective to contribute to the nation, Telkom University is the first campus that declares Kampus Merdeka, Merdeka Belajar, a policy of the Indonesian Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology. As the best private university according to UI Green Metric 2021, Telkom University has a commitment to always maintain the natural ecosystem in the campus area to be a sustainable campus. It also affects the learning environment where students and lecturers enjoy the comfortable atmosphere. We believe that all of Telkom University achievements, both national and global, could be acquired through the hard work and collaboration of all Telkom University stakeholders.